I'm Chad with Premier Farm and Home, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about crabgrass preventer. So now that spring is here, we're starting to get a lot of folks come into the store and asking about crabgrass preventer and what should I use, when should I use it, that sort of thing. So we're just going to kind of cover some common questions today about pre-emergent and some things you should be looking for as we go out to make those purchases. So the first one I get is, am I too late? So crabgrass in our area, which is right in the transition zone, typically will germinate that first week in May. So it's usually, after that first week in May, temperatures get into that 57 to 65 degree mark at 1 to 2 inch depth, and really that's what will create that crabgrass emergence. So really, unless you have that going on, you'll be in good shape. Now the second question I usually get is, will this kill broadleaf weeds? So I have dandelions, or I have henbit, or I have some other weed that is overwintered. Crabgrass pre-emergent is not going to kill those weeds. So it is not a weed and feed per se. This is a pre-emergent to prevent the next wave of weeds that would come after that henbit or chickweed or that sort of thing. So really this is a pre-emergent herbicide is designed to put down before the weeds germinate, and then it kills them as they run into that barrier. So it's not a post-emergent, which is weeds that I already have and I want to try to control. So just so we're clear on that. So another question that I typically get is, which product do I use? Do I use this homeowner product, or do I use this commercial product? What's right for me? So the first question is, do I want to put on crabgrass preventer one time a year? So if you're able to go out and broadcast your crabgrass pre-emergent one time a year, and it covers you for 6 to 7 months, and you're happy with that, this is the product for you. So it's a 4.3% barricade. It's a one application product. A lot of the homeowner strength ones that you'll see out there are 0.2% or a little bit more, a little less, somewhere around there. And these are designed to be put on twice a season. You're saying, okay, well, I don't want to put it on twice. Well, you may want to put it on twice depending on how bad a problem you got. So a split application will always be better, because you have more coverage of chemical, because you're applying it twice to get this full strength rate. However, it's not always convenient to go out there and do that, but just be aware that you're not buying a half strength product and expecting it to last 6 months, and it only lasts 3 months on you, and then you're wondering what happened. So just be careful when you go through and you're selecting your products, that you're getting the right strength to get the job done that you're asking for. Another question I typically get is, my extension agent, or I've heard that, I don't want to put any fertilizer down in the spring. And what they mean by that is you don't want to put too much nitrogen down in the spring. So when you apply nitrogen, you're forcing leaf and shoot growth at the expense of the root system. Okay, so you're using up all that food that was stored in the fall, in the springtime. And well, in spring, you're already doing that. You're going to get this massive leaf and shoot growth in the spring as it's trying to go out. And so nitrogen can just wind that up a little bit. And that's true. So that's why our fertilizers are, yes, they have nitrogen in them. You have to bond the product, the pre-emergent, to something. And so the choice is, do I want to bond it to peanut hulls, which do exactly no benefit to me, or do I want to try to do it to sand, which is heavy and expensive to ship, or do I want to do it in fertilizer, something the yard could use anyway? And so what we do is we just try to keep that nitrogen under control by coating a portion of it. So we have what's called controlled release nitrogen, so that a majority of this might release right away, but a good third of it isn't going to release right away. And so that might take you down from putting on half of what a normal application of nitrogen is to a quarter of what a normal application of nitrogen is. And that's really just enough to help you out with color, to give you a little nice dark green in the spring. It's not enough to force too much leaf and shoot growth when you're applying it at the recommended rate. So that we do have what we call nitrogen-free products. They're still bonded to potassium, which is technically a fertilizer, but you can certainly get it that way. And then we also have sprayable pre-emergent. So if you've got an extremely large area and you don't want to pay the expense for fertilizer, you can put down Barricade or Dimension or one of those two products over a big area for a lot less money if you're just wanting to spray the chemical and not pay for the fertilizer. So that's another option you can get when you're trying to decide, do I want fertilizer or not? Then the last thing that people want to know, well, I don't know how many bags I need, or how much am I supposed to use? So a really good tool for that is a website called findlotsize.com. I think we have a link to it on our website. I'll probably include a link with this video as we put it out as well. So findlotsize.com, you can measure your yard for satellite, and we'd be happy to do that here, so I don't have any problem if you want to come in and say, hey, how big's my yard? I just want to make sure I got enough bags, that sort of thing. And then we just take that square footage that it tells you and divide it by 12,500 square feet, which is the amount that one of our commercial bags cover. And then that'll tell you, is this going to be too much for you? Should I get a split app? And then I can just put half the bag on now and half the bag on in 2 months. Should I do, whatever we might need to do to try and get you exactly what you need, so you're not having a whole bunch of wasted fertilizer. So with that, I think that's a good starting place. You want to know how big your yard is, whether or not you want to use a split application like this product here, or a single application like this product here. And then you want to know that you'll still have to spray your broadleaf weeds, but this will get you for crabgrass and all those summer annual junk weeds that come on in May. Thanks for watching. This is Chad with Premier Farm and Home.